I noticed the change in her immediately. The way her eyes wouldn't meet mine, the way her laughter, once so free and genuine, became rehearsed, a sound forced into existence. Something was wrong, but whenever I asked, she simply smiled and said, "Nothing, I'm just tired, tired." That became her go-to response for everything. Why she didn't want to go out, why she barely spoke at dinner, why she turned away when I reached for her hand at night. I let it go at first, thinking maybe work was getting to her. Stress could do that to people, but weeks passed and nothing changed. If anything, it got worse. Then one morning, the truth became unavoidable. It was a Saturday. I woke up to find her side of the bed empty, the sheets cold. My stomach clenched. She never woke up before me, never. I got up, rubbing sleep from my eyes, and wandered through the apartment. The bathroom light was on, the door slightly ajar. I knocked softly. "Babe." Silence. I pushed the door open, and there she was, sitting on the closed toilet lid, her phone clutched in her trembling hands. Her face was pale, her breath coming in short, sharp bursts. "What's wrong?" I stepped forward, my heart pounding now. She didn't look at me, just shook her head, pressing the phone to her chest as if trying to keep something inside. I knelt in front of her, gently prying her hands away so I could take the phone. She didn't resist. One glance at the screen and my world shifted beneath me. A message, a single message from an unknown number. "You can't avoid this forever. He deserves to know." I looked up at her, my voice hoarse. "Know what?" Tears welled in her eyes, and finally, after weeks of silence, she broke. What followed was a confession that left me breathless, a revelation that tore through everything I thought I knew about her, about us. She had been keeping a secret, one that had been eating away at her for weeks, maybe months. Now there was no more running from it. The truth had arrived, and it was waiting to shatter our world. She took a deep breath, her hands gripping her knees as if trying to keep herself grounded. "I didn't know how to tell you," she whispered. "I thought maybe it would go away on its own." "What would go away?" I demanded, my voice shaking. She squeezed her eyes shut, as if bracing for impact. I made a mistake, a huge mistake, and now I don't know how to fix it." My mind raced through possibilities, each one worse than the last. "What mistake? Just tell me." She opened her eyes, and the pain in them cut me to the core. I met someone a long time ago, before we got serious. I didn't think it mattered anymore, but then he came back, and now he's threatening to ruin everything." My breath hitched. "Who is he? What does he want?" She let out a shaky sigh. "Money. He says if I don't pay him, he'll tell you everything." And I swear I never wanted to hide anything from you. I panicked. I stared at her, my heart pounding so hard it hurt. "So you've been dealing with this alone for weeks," my voice cracked. "Why didn't you just tell me?" "Because I was afraid," she cried. "Afraid you'd leave, afraid you'd hate me. I didn't know what to do." I ran a hand through my hair, trying to make sense of it all. "How much does he want?" She hesitated. 20,000. A bitter laugh escaped me. 20,000. "And you thought you could just handle this alone?" "I thought if I ignored him, maybe he'd go away," she admitted, her voice small. "But now he's getting impatient. He sent that message this morning." I took a deep breath, steadying myself. "We're not paying him." Her head snapped up. "What? But we're not paying him," I repeated firmly. "Blackmailers don't stop. If we give him what he wants now, he'll just ask for more. We need to figure out another way." Her lips trembled. "But what if—" "I'll handle it." I cut her off, my decision made. "I just need to know everything, no more secrets." She nodded, tears spilling down her cheeks. "No more secrets." The next week was a blur of tension and careful planning. I tracked down the man, found out everything I could about him. He had a record, a history of scams, manipulation, and extortion. And now he thought he could use my wife as his next payday. He was wrong. And I finally confronted him. He was cocky, confident. "So she finally told you, huh?" He smirked. "Smart move. Now about that money." "You're not getting a dime," I interrupted coldly. "In fact, I've already sent everything I found about you to the police. If you try anything else, they'll come knocking at your door." His smirk faltered. "You wouldn't." I took a step closer, lowering my voice. "Try me." A tense silence stretched between us before he scoffed, shoving his hands in his pockets. "Fine. Have it your way, but don't think this is over." "Oh, it is," I assured him. "Walk away while you still can." And just like that, he did. When I returned home that night, my wife was waiting anxiously by the door. "What happened?" I wrapped my arms around her, holding her close. "It's over." She sagged against me, relief washing over her. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. "For everything." I kissed her forehead. "No more secrets, okay?" She nodded. "No more secrets." And for the first time in weeks, she finally looked at me, not with fear or hesitation, but with the love we had nearly lost. And I knew somehow we'd be okay.